I'm Erica Farber, member of the Radio Hall of Fame class of 2021. And as part of the Radio Hall of Fame's initiative to attract the attention of aspiring broadcasters to our business, it's my pleasure to facilitate a conversation with one of our most recent Hall of Fame inductees, Kraig Kitchin.
Hi,
Kraig, you were
Erica.
inducted
Just a year ago.
2024.
Just a year ago.
Well, you're actually even more important than that, because in addition to actually being a Hall of Fame inductee, you actually are in charge of the entire Radio Hall of Fame.
I have that highly non-paid position of chairman of the Radio Hall of Fame. Yes.
So first share
Great
with
labor
us.
of love. A great labor of love.
Well, but share with us what the Hall of Fame is all about and how it's involved with the Museum of Broadcast Communications.
Sure. Well, the Radio Hall of Fame is here as a part of the museum. The Museum of Broadcast Communication is home to the Radio Hall of Fame and has been for 37 years. I've had the pleasure of being the chairman for the last 10. I have a great co-chairman, Dennis Green, and our goal over the last decade has been to make the Radio Hall of Fame as relevant and as impactful and as accessible to everybody in the radio industry. And we've done so by making sure that our voting, when it comes to choosing inductees each year, is transparent, it's democratic. That means that there's 1,000+ members of the radio industry who get a confidential ballot each year, after 24 members of the nominating committee carefully choose 24 candidates for induction. And through that voting process, which is overseen by an accounting firm, we come down to the place of having 8 or 10 inductees each year. So the responsibilities really are to make sure that the awareness level and the relevancy of the Radio Hall of Fame really remains really top of mind. It was started years ago by people like Paul Harvey, for instance, and his wife Angel. And there was an initial crush of individuals who really were very deserving. Charles Corral, Charles Osgood, Rush Limbaugh, Casey Kasem. The list is long, and today the list is 398 total inductees. Now there are tens of thousands of air personalities, and even more people that are in producer roles or general manager roles and others, a lot of them very deserving. So the toughest part of this position is determining the 8 or 10 individuals that get to go in each year, knowing full well that we are in the queue for hundreds of qualified individuals to receive the honor that you and I have of being inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame.
So normally I would say to someone who's in the Hall of Fame, what was it like when you got that call? But as I remember, there was a Zoom, and all of a sudden, this sort of organically happened quickly.
Yes.
To induct you. And what was that like for you?
It was humbling, emotional. In my particular case, like executives like yourself, individuals who are not known far and wide, like Shelley Stewart, for instance, or Dee Dee McGuire, or Mojo in the Morning, I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd ever be an inductee of an organization that I'm proud to oversee. So it was humbling, and to hear the words and to see the affirmation. It's one thing to excuse yourself from the voting. It's another thing to say to people, please, there are so many more deserving individuals. Let's look at who those are. And then to be, in some ways, overruled time and time again by a group of people that you really trust to make these decisions. I was flat out humbled, honestly, speechless, emotional, almost wanted to hide it from the world until I couldn't, anymore, just because in my heart, I know there are just so many people who are deserving. I don't see myself in that way, but I gratefully accept it.
So a lot of people that will be hearing this podcast and viewing this podcast are our next generation of broadcasters.
Yeah, right.
And what do you say to them about this business and why it's a great business that they should consider as a career destination?
First and foremost, it's good if you have a show-off gene. Being in front of a microphone, being able to paint a theater of a mind and a conversation and create relationships and take advantage of tools like social media and other things to just use the opportunity to create that connection is really invaluable. And because I've been around individuals like Dee Dee, for instance, or Martha Quinn, or others that you're going to get to talk to this fall, to witness the way in which American consumers develop like a best friendship with them. They may never meet Martha Quinn on the street or in a restaurant or whatever, but they know that she's there between 10 and 3 every day. And she's that familiar, warm, reassuring voice that tells you the world is going to be okay. And yes, I am playing a few of your favorite songs some of the time, but just join me for whatever period of time you have. One of our fellow Hall of Famers said something really distinct to me, which is, I make an appointment every day to be with you for these hours, whether or not it's 9 to noon or 10 to 3 or 7 to midnight or whatever time. I'll be here, like you can count on me. I just invite you to join me for whatever period of time you have. So what I say to the people who are young and up and coming or aspiring to be in this business, that's a commitment you can make and that an audience will respond if you are your true, authentic self. So if you're the biggest introvert, except when you're in front of a microphone, bring it on. Be the craziest, cleverest. Think about your next air shift for the next 20 hours of your life before you get to go back on the air. It will pay off. You will get the audience response. And you can be in McCoy, Texas, or Fort Wayne, Indiana, or Detroit, Michigan. The size of the city doesn't matter. What matters is the audience connection, the glue, the stickiness.
Now, Kraig, you and I did not really make our career in front of the mic.
No.
Our careers were developed behind the mic.
True.
So what do you say to those students now who think about this industry as a career destination?
The individuals who want to make the behind the mic decision.
Absolutely.
They want to be the producers. They want to be the salespeople. They want to be the station managers or the promotion managers of this. Is the performance pressure is all off. Your days are going to be longer. I mean, this is not for the faint-hearted. This is not a 9-to-5 job.
No.
This is a labor of love and passion, but it is a place where you can express yourself so freely and so creatively in the commercial writing that you do or the clients that you select to pursue, the relationships promotionally you want to do with nonprofit organizations in your community, whether or not you're into politics or your sports or sappy love songs or great country music, you align with something that is your passion. And when you do, this is it. There are 19,000 radio stations broadcasting. There's a place for you. And all you got to do is knock down the door and show, I'm here and I'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and you can count on me. That's what I would say.
And as the leader of the Radio Hall of Fame, if someone wants to get involved with the Radio Hall of Fame or even make a donation to the Radio Hall of Fame, what can you share with us today?
Sure. There are two things. First, in the Radio Hall of Fame sector, we are looking for individuals who can be archivists for us, individuals who can help make sure that we write accurate histories of individuals like Shelley Stewart, for instance, or Martha Quinn. We don't pretend, we do not want to rely on a ChatGPT future. We want people who do honest to goodness, authentic research work to help us know our story. We would love to have volunteers who would help us categorize and make available online and in social media and all other places. Here are all the country music personalities that have been inducted. Here are all of the off-air executives like Erica Farber who have literally worked at least 20 years. I don't know how many years you've been.
How kind.
Yes. But whatever number of years to necessarily just kind of bring that to light. There are more places to disseminate information today than ever before. The Radio Hall of Fame needs volunteers to do that. So that's one. Donations, absolutely. Every industry has a Hall of Fame. We tend to think of like Major League Baseball's Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, or the one in Canton, Ohio with the NFL, or the way that the NBA has treated themselves to one in Western Massachusetts. But those are funded by billion-dollar industries, football, baseball, basketball. And the team owners in particular, and players who are earning tens of millions of dollars a year. This Radio Hall of Fame, this Hall of Fame, doesn't have a large industry backing. It is contributed to and supported by people who have a love for our medium. So if the medium has been good to you and you've had a friendship with it, share a $25 gift or a $100 gift or something that just kind of says, thank you for all the years, Delilah. I've loved listening to you every night.
Right.
That kind of thing would go a long way. It helps us keep the lights on and keeps the relevancy going forward for the next generation of inductees.
Well, Kraig, thank you so much for joining me for a few minutes. I know you've got a busy day.
A
Tonight
great
is
day.
the 2025 induction of this year's Radio Hall of Fame
Yeah.
famers. So
Yes.
we appreciate you taking time to join us.
Thank you for having this. Thank you for putting this together too.